I'll talk briefly about a traditional retirement account versus Roth retirement account that include 401 and IRA. So it's not financial advice, of course, but so let's assume the difference between Roth and our traditional is Roth is tax and now and no tax when you withdraw. Traditional is no tax now and tax at withdrawal. Let's look at the hypothetical scenario where you are contributing $100 to your account. So the traditional, you just need $100 to contribute a pre-tax money. You need $125 to contribute $100, 125 pre-tax dollars to contribute $100 to your account, assuming your current tax rate is 20%. And at the time of withdrawal, say your money 10x, then your account grow to that $100 grow to 1,000. At the time of your drawing, your tax rate is 10%. You will end up draw $900, whereas the Roth account you will draw $1,000. You will have $1,000 completely tax free. So my thought process of the entire thing of which one is more tax efficient for you is just pretty much how much tax you paid with this at the end of the day. Traditional is very straightforward. You can imagine you pay $100 at the draw time, and then you paid at the current time you pay $25, but it's $25 after your money 10x. Fun fact. With 10% per year growth rate, your money will double every 7.3 years. For mathematically inclined people, 10x, you can do log 1.1 of 10. It will take about 24 years to 10x your money with 10% growth rate. So I did roughly, imagine the inflation rate is 2%, inflation 1.02 to the 24th power, the time that it takes 10x, which is 24 years, with assumption of 10% growth. Then you effectively paid, at the time of draw, you paid $40. As you can see, that's very, very big difference of how much you paid if you holding your account for 24 years is obviously very, with this logic, it's obviously very compelling for you to put money into Roth because you save effectively 60% of the tax. Even only assuming you only pay 10% at the draw time. So here is a plot with assumption of 8% growth, 2% inflation, 32% current tax bracket, 12% future tax. Just to make my point, even with moderate growth, but you only need to hold your Roth account for greater than roughly 17 years, then you will break even, in the sense that anytime you grow, anytime after that, holding the account, you will not, you will be better off holding Roth than traditional. This curve, the blue dotted curve, is how much tax you need to pay through traditional account, because it has a growth rate of 8%, where this has a growth rate of 2%, because this is the inflation growth rate. The traditional is a growth rate of of your stock portfolio. At that and but at the beginning, you need to pay tax for Roth, so you have a shift up, and then traditional you pay 0. Sorry, you pay like 12. You pay 12%. You pay 12%. You both pay 12. Traditionally, you pay 12% tax, future tax, but for the Roth, you pay 23%. For different people's scenarios, let's just look at 12% tax draw rate, 2% inflation. For different people with different current tax bracket, and different assumption of stock growth, here is a heat plot. Essentially, this number inside represent how many years it takes for you to break even. Let's just, for example, you have 24% current tax, and then you assume the growth is 12%. Then it takes you 7 years. If you hold the money in Roth for more than 7 years, it will be worth it. Otherwise, it will be worth it for you to put in a traditional. So this is a break-even point. Usually, like this is like greater than. Usually, the longer time you always. So that's why traditionally you'll be always been told, when you're young, choose Roth. When you're old, choose traditional. Here is pretty much a quantitative reason why you want to do that.